You know, they say the truth is hard, but I tell you the lies are harder, because the lies are like knives. They're knives in your front, in your back, in your centre, and your womb, and your groin, and everywhere, right? In the retirement village, Paul Kennedy, Jean Kennedy and Patricia Pugliese did the cleaning and bought meals on a regular basis. Absolute bullshit. And, you know, Trish would, like, in the beginning, she came, like, once a fortnight or 3 weeks or whatever. And she'd bring my parents, like, Woolworths bought ham or something processed, and vegetables like the carrots were cut so big my parents couldn't eat them, right? So after Trish came to bring the meal, I would have to, like, come up to give them something to eat, because they couldn't eat what Trish bought them. And guess what Paul bought them when he came to bring meals, right? Because I always like, you know, we're a family, I'll leave. Someone wants to feed my parents, great. But if my parents aren't happy with the food, then I'll come back and feed them with, you know, something that they can fill their belly and go to sleep. Trish bought them, like, she'd cut up carrots so big that, like, me with my 50-something mouth couldn't even eat raw carrots, let alone them in their 80s, right? And Paul, every time, bought them smoked salmon, because he was smoking them like salmon. Smoked salmon, bought from Woolworths and whatever, and Mum couldn't even eat it. She was just, you know, disgusted by that stage, right? And Jeannie would, like, when she came on Thursday, she'd bring, like, from that macrobiotics or whatever. Mum hated the taste of miso. She hated it. Jean didn't care. She'd bring them takeaway from Macro in Glebe, right? That macro restaurant, whatever it's called. Oh, God. Like, they were, like, trying to, like, re-educate my parents at the end of their lives. And if you're not happy with this, you know. But, you know, what did I make them? Like, what they wanted. I made them what they wanted, right? What they were used to. You know, meat and 3 veg. Baked dinners, you know. Slow cooking, so they could smell it during the day, smell it slowly, and then eat it at the end of the day. It's like heaven. You smell it all day, and then you eat it at the end of the day. Is that not heaven? Is that not heaven? But, you know, I do have a Filipino carer who, like, because my brother didn't want me to have anything to do with it, he lined up carers, right? And one of them was a Filipino carer named Catherine who, like, loved me. She thought I was like Angelina Jolie, which is so funny because Angelina Jolie is like a complete cunt. But anyway, maybe, you know, like, it was just like I had long hair and good teeth at the time. I didn't have thick lips. But anyway, she saw me as Angelina Jolie. And she told me that she was brought in by my brother, right? I've still got her phone number. Like, the problem is you can't ask foreigners to testify for you because they're scared. Like, she's from the Philippines, she's got a son, you know, her husband is African American. She just got too scared for her own, right? Even though she loved me, right? And she knew what I was saying was the truth. So I've still got her number and stuff. But, you know, again, I don't want to, like, compromise her or anyone, you know. But she told me that first month where my brother, I moved my parents into the nursing home, and after I moved them in, siblings, Paul and Jeannie at that stage, right? Trish wasn't involved. Paul and Jeannie were like just going to, like they were still trying to move my parents into a nursing home so they could take over all the money, right? And, and then they just thought if they just scared me enough and kept me away for that month, I'd just stay away. And I didn't. I, allowed them to do what they wanted to do and came in. And my mother was so distraught. And Catherine, the Filipino, who was, and she ended up leaving Catholic healthcare because she just thought they were so corrupt. But she couldn't, I got her phone number from her before she left, thank God. But, it didn't help really because she was scared. She was scared. She was an immigrant. She didn't have, I don't know what her paper situation was, but she was also married to a foreigner and she had a little boy and she was scared. She was scared shitless. But she told me that after I finally, just broke in after that month, well, I didn't break in, I just waited till they left the scene, because they just thought, Wednesday's gone now. And they left the scene, and I came in, and my dad gave me the keys to his apartment. So if I'm such the sorrow of my father's life, why did my father give me the keys and allow me to carry on, right? And my mother was so distraught. And I can show you how my mother improved her mental health, her vocabulary, everything improved under my home care. I can actually show you that. If I am not continued to, or forced to keep fighting these bullshit battles against these institutions and these filthy siblings, I could show you, right? But you've got to be safe and, in a equilibrium of mind to show evidence. If you're constantly being traumatized, you can't show anything. Anyway, long story, I'm so sick of it. 4. Response from second defendant Patricia Pugliese and third defendant John Paul Kennedy, who have now cleaned up from my parents' will because the entire system has got behind them. Anywho, in the retirement village at Croydon, Paul Kennedy, Jean Kennedy and Patricia Pugliese did the cleaning. Did the cleaning? Are you kidding me? Anyway, and bought meals on a regular basis, right? So, Trish, when she realised her little plan wasn't working, just stopped turning up. She decided to abandon. She decided abandonment was the best tactic, right? And she hadn't, at that point, linked up with Jean and Paul, who were acting as a team, right, for quite a long period of time. Anyway, Wednesday would make muffins, smoothies, and the occasional baked dinner, but never washed up. A task that was left to her siblings. What a joke. They were never there. They were never there. Jean did not even bring her daughter for Dad's birthday. And I've got video of that. She punished Dad for not going along with her agenda. She had a lot of power over Dad, Jean. Trish didn't, because Trish can't have power over anyone, because she's just, her voice is unbearable. She's like, I don't know. She couldn't seduce anyone unless they were as dead as she was, right? She couldn't seduce anyone, even including my father. So the last affidavit that my sister wrote in regards to my father, which my lawyer firm has, might explain my sister's psychology. I don't know why everyone's so focused on my psychology. We're all fucked up, man. But I did look after my parents for 2 years. I do have evidence of that. I did just want to care for them and create love and fun. We had so much fun. And I have the fun on video also, And it's almost like the Sibs were jealous of the pleasure I could give my parents, because they knew what they wanted and I wanted to give them what they wanted. And anyway, here we go. But I never washed up, apparently. A task that was left to her siblings, who were never there. In addition, she often left the stove and oven on. That's a really quite seriously big lie, actually. That's why reading this is just, it's unbelievable. Anyway. And was also in the habit of leaving the oven on at the Peterson property. It's just another lie. There's no proof of that. It never happened. She just made this stuff up. My sister she started off, Trish, who wrote this, she started off as a Catholic teacher. She never left, she went to school, Catholic teaching college, whatever it is, and then teaching in the Catholic system. And then actually she was even so dangerous to the children and everything there. She was such a fucking psychopath. They moved her to the library, right? She was just safer in the library. So then she became a librarian, and she wrote a couple of novels, teenage gothic fiction, and one of those, her novelettes, actually just bags out Mum. Totally bags out Mum, right? And I've got a copy of her signed copy to them. So she's bagging out Mum, and she's giving them a copy and wanting their blessing. She's just sort of weird. Anyway, Wednesday would explode when uncovered or suspect food in John and Gwen's fridge was thrown out. Well, no, I wouldn't explode, but I'd just tell Jeannie, why did you throw out fresh food from Mum and Dad's fridge? Are you trying to destroy the home care? It wasn't an explosion. It was an email question to Jean Kennedy, ABC newsreader. Why did you do that, Jean? Right? So I didn't explode, but they're all working together, right? She never took out the garbage. This is just bullshit, man. It's just... Anyway, she did not attend to dirty bed linen, which was soiled by Gwen in the course of earlier intermittent incontinence. No, Mum never shat the bed. Absolutely never shat the bed. All right? And do you know what? Actually, she did once. She did once when Jean came on a Thursday night. Mum shat the bed. Dad and Mum freaked out because Mum thought Jean was then after her, which she was. And I, living 5 minutes down the street in the granny flat, came up and changed the sheets. The laundry was generally looked after by Jean. Jean came every Thursday. That's it. And I didn't get in the way of my siblings wanting to care for my parents because, you know, like, I'm not an only child. If they wanted to help and they want, you know, whatever, like, I got out of the way. I got out of the way. And Thursday night was Jean's night, so I got out of the way. And if Paul was going to come, you know, he only really came for like an hour or something just to suss everything out, take over the bank books, give them some, like, you know, Woolworths salmon they're sick of eating, and then leave. And I'd come afterwards and feed them, right? Because I was living five minutes down the road, right? However, Wednesday did take a great deal of money for purposes she described as Gwen's comfort money. I had no access to my parents' money. Like, do I have to sue my siblings for this defamation? Is this what this whole system is setting up, that I have to sue them? You know, like, it's just such bullshit.